Top of the night, everybody. Before I start, I want to say, please, man, go on all platforms. Fuck with that Obsession album I just dropped. It's 12 songs. So on all platforms, I got Tyler Woods on there, Sean Khan, Vinny Paz, and a bunch of whole other artists. And I got the Sovereignty 2 album. That's on all platforms. Also, that's an EP album. Get in tune with both. If y'all not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is Warlord _ Iron Sheik AOA. Everything spelt in its correct form. Iron Sheik is on my chest. Just add AOA behind it. But before it, have Warlord _ my Facebook is Iron Sheik Williams. Same name, but just put Williams. And, just get in tune with me. If you ain't following me on YouTube, subscribe. So, I just want to break down, there's different tribes, ethnicities, and different levels to the black race and culture, right? And I'm not going to be able to touch on it all on this screen. But I want to say this, right? Jamaican women, right? The Jamaican people. The Jamaican people come from Nigeria, right? Mostly majority Nigeria. And they made up of the Igbo tribe, the Yoruba tribe, and a bunch of other tribes. We know before the slaves was taken from Nigeria to Jamaica, we know it was Arawak Indians there already. We aware of this. If y'all know about the map, the geography of the map, y'all know that Jamaica and Puerto Rico is not that far from each other. They basically right across the water from each other. So, Puerto Rico had a lot of Taino Indians, and they had Arawak Indians also, right? So the people of Haiti, they come from West Africa also. The majority of them is from the country of Benin and Sierra Leone. And the tribe from Benin is the Oxa tribe. That's King Bohanzan. King Bohanzan had the Amazonian women guarding him, like the movie Black Panther. That was basically about the people of Benin. King Bohanzan and them, and they fought the French, and they beat the French 3 or 4 times throughout history, right? And we know Trinidadians, they made up of Arawak Indians, East Indians, and some African tribes also. And then we know when you go down to South America with the Afro Latinos, like the people from Honduras. The people from Honduras is descendants of the Garifuna tribe. The Garifuna was originally from Nigeria also. They was all throughout Africa, but throughout West Africa. But the Garifuna tribe, they was taken from like Nigeria, Ghana, and stuff like that, and they was brought down to St. Vincent. And then after a certain amount of time, they was exiled from St. Vincent, so they traveled down the coastline to South America, which was Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, and a few other countries. They down there though. The Garifuna is down there. Majority in Honduras on the island of Roatan. Right, the island of Roatan. I don't have an accent enough. I'm just trying to pronounce it correctly. The island of Roatan, right? And Panama has a lot of Afro-Latinos too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from Panama came from North Africa, Northwest Africa, and stuff like that also. You see a lot of Panamanians with dreads, and they very cultural, and they acknowledge that they black too, as well as the Garifunas, right? And then, same thing with Brazil. Brazil has the largest population of Africans outside of Africa. So I say this to say what, right? A lot of these people somehow throughout history, throughout being slaves, captured, fighting the oppressors, the European colonizers and stuff, they happen to maintain their culture, right? A lot of people of what they would call black of African American descent, I just want to use this so y'all can keep up with me. The people that's considered black or of African American descent, a lot of them lost tune of their African culture, right? The ones that kind of held on to it was those in New Orleans, and they considered the Creole. And a lot of them is made up of Haitians that escaped before 1804. Because ever since the Haitians was in the country of Benin as West Africans, They fought the French. They defeated them numerous times, a lot of times. So before 1804 with Toussaint Louverture, the Haitians escaped in the 1700s and stuff like that and landed up in New Orleans and different places like that. And, according to certain historians, Nat Turner's a descendant of Haitians, which was, the correct name is Ayati, right? And, some Haitians went to Jamaica and helped the Jamaicans fight the Revolutionary War or whatever against the colonizers also. And a lot of Jamaicans also is made up of Cameroon and Bantu. The Bantu tribe was from like mid-South Africa, and they was somewhat allies with the Zulus. Y'all can research this yourself, you know what I'm saying, and get in tune with this. But I say this to say what? 90% of the women I've dated growing up was West Indian. They was of West Indian descent. 2 out of 5 of my baby mothers is West Indian. One is Jamaican, one is Haitian, right? And there's good and bad in every culture, ethnicity, race, color, creed, religion, everything, right? But I just feel like all women, no matter what race or color, Dominican women, Jamaican women, white women, when everybody comes to America, they become corrupted and they become tainted. But women from these third world countries or from these countries, they still know the protocol of what's required of a woman in regards to their hospitality, being hospitable, catering to their man, knowing how to play their position, and not really challenge their man long as he's leading correctly and doing what he's supposed to do. The difference with the women of African American descent or the black women here, due to so many years when y'all study, the theories of eugenics and slavery and Winston Churchill and all the theories, like the movie Claudine with the welfare system, the Section 8 system, Planned Parenthood. When you study all the psychological booby traps and plans and war strategies that were used on the African American women, you have now what you have today, which is like love of hip hop, women like twerking all over the internet, Instagram. I'm not saying women from other countries don't do that. Women of all races, faces, colors, and creeds do that. Any of them that come to America, the great majority of them become corrupted and they lose connection with what they learned in their motherland country. Whether they Russian, whatever. When everybody come here, all the bitches run wild. They just get loose, they get ignorant, they get stupid, they get rebellious because these laws protect them. In other countries, they get killed, whipped, beat, imprisoned, fucked up, and everything. And I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not condoning that, but a woman has a certain place in society, and a man has a certain place in society in order to maintain the family structure, the culture, and to preserve the lineage for future years to come. Right? So I feel like a lot of women of African American descent don't really have no culture. We gonna exclude the ones from New Orleans because we know they still have Haitian and Creole and certain type of roots, and they preserve it through music and they cooking. But we know a lot of women like in the South, they eating crawfish, they eat pig, pork, and all types of parts of the pig body. They indulge in a lot of barbaricness, savageness. Same thing with a lot of women on the East Coast, on the Northeast. Outside of women who attach themselves to conscious spiritual groups like the 5% Nation, Nation of Islam, Muslims, the Israelites, Masonic Order. This gives those type of women some structure and like a blueprint or a manuscript that they should follow, like a protocol. So those women is a little more polished than the regular hood booger or chick out here in the hood, right? I recommend that when men choose women to have children by, or women that have as a wife or a significant other, they should be a woman with some culture, some type of structure, and some type of consciousness, and know their role in society as being a nurturer of the children and being a second eye and a second brain to their husband and the leader of the household. I'm not saying black women in America is not good wives, because my grandmother was married for 60 years to her husband, and she's considered American or black, even though we of Haitian descent and a few other things. But we considered black. My family, when I trace my lineage, we've been here since like the 1700s. So there's women like you had Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee. There's good relationships. I'm not gonna say that, but a lot of chicks now that's being born and raised like in the hoods, the South Bronx, Philly, Harlem. A lot of them has become tainted and corrupted by striving to pursue financial gain, economical power, and by trying to maintain their independence and trying to display their strength on their own. And a lot of them feel like, I don't need a man, I can do what I do alone, I get to my own bag, I get to this, I get to that, right? But then these same individuals, because Puerto Rican women do it too. I got a lot of Puerto Rican comrades that complain about, the Boricua women too. Like, yeah, they Americanized and they don't want to listen and they doing this and, they freaking off, they cheating. There's a lot of just disunity going on. And I got a lot of Dominican brothers here too that complain about Dominican women here too in New York City. I'm live on Broadway right now, 143rd. So I got a lot of Dominican brothers too that complain like, yeah, them bitches is greedy, always begging for money and asking for money and this and this and that. So it ain't just a black thing, but I want to keep it on the eye with my, with my people. I'm saying? Not saying they not my people, but I'm talking about my Pacific, the blacks, the ones who's considered black in America, right? We have to get more in tune with each other, and the women got to become more well-read, more informed, and more structured, because look, right now the whole city's on lockdown. A lot of women don't know what to do. I'm seeing chicks go to Texas Fried Chicken. They eat McDonald's. The ones that is militant on a Nubian Queen shit, that is eating sea moss and they dieting correctly and they not fucking with the pork, and some that's vegan, vegetarian, or pescatarian. A lot of them is already queens. They married to somebody already, or they got husbands and they, they're already structured. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like a lot of women, black women in America, is kind of brainwashed. They're like, they play a great part in being a detrimental instrument against the black man, because the government know how to use them to betray the black man and flip on the black man and go against us and everything. A lot of them is being used as instruments to go against us. And I see this a lot in America. And they might don't know it, and they might be like, fuck that, I don't give a fuck about none of that. But a lot of them is being used as instruments against us. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, if I had the financial resources, the economic resources, me personally and a lot of my comrades, we want to go back to Africa and get a wife from Africa, because they're more structured and cultural. Plus, I'm Muslim. North Africa has a great Islamic population. The majority of North Africa is Muslim. Like 70% of Africa is Muslim. So it'll work out for me if I go to Somalia, Ethiopia, Mali, Morocco. It'll definitely work out for me. And the older I get, I take a woman, I'm more attracted to a plain Jane. Like every real relationship I was in, the women didn't wear weave, they didn't wear makeup, they didn't wear fake nails, they didn't wear fake eyelashes or nothing. They was real women. You know what I'm saying? They was real women. I'd rather a woman be in pure form and be a 6 than a woman be in fake form and be a 50 piece. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I need to know what you look like when all that Halloween shit is off. When all the masks, the makeup, the nails, when all that fake shit is off, I got to see you in pure form. I don't like fake butts. I don't like fake breasts. Will I fornicate with a woman with Fake butt and fake breast, maybe. Depend what state of mind I'm in, depend where I'm at in life, depend where I'm at, you know, what I'm going through or whatever. But my overall objective on that is this: if a man date a woman with a fake butt, fake titties and all that, she's always make-upped up, you would date a tranny because there's no difference. And a lot of women now be looking like trannies. A lot of women now, the way they dress and with all the makeup and with all the foolery shit, a lot of them be looking like trannies. So, you know, I advise all the brothers who do have the financial means and a level of consciousness, we should go back to the motherland and we should breed with women with grade A, strong African genetics. And that's not really watered down and tainted or Europeanized or colonized. And I'm not saying women in Africa don't have this mentality, because there's deviants all over the world. The European influence, and this is not racist, I'm speaking in general, the European influence has influenced everybody all over the world. You know what I'm saying? They set the standard. You got a lot of Africans that bleach their skin. You got a lot of Jamaicans that come to America and bleach their skin. You got people in Jamaica bleaching their skin. So I'm not saying that these women over there ain't deviate either. All I'm saying, genetically, culturally, the integrity, the protocol, the strategy, you want to get a woman that's as close as possible to knowing what's her purpose in life, maintaining the household, being hospitable, and keeping the family structure together for the future 15, 16 generations down, where we can have a solid lineage to go by, because a lot of people can't go past their grandmother or their great-grandmothers. And if they can, a lot of people can't go 5 grandmothers down to their great-great-great-grandmother. Why? Because it was so much deception in the family, so much division, egos, people not getting along, people just drifting off and not keeping in contact with the family, a lot of fighting, all type of stuff. So, you know, when I said it earlier on Instagram, like, I'm going to break down the difference between black women in America and West Indian women or Afro-Latinos or African women, a lot of people misconstrued it on Instagram. All I'm just saying is, you know, the women over there have culture. You know, they're in tune with their roots. They can trace back to where they came from. You know, a lot of black people over here really can't trace back to where they came from. They can't really go back far. And then a lot of them lie. Oh, I'm half Cherokee Indian. I'm half Blackfoot Indian. I'm half Mohawk Indian. Well, if you half Indian and you could prove that you're half Indian, then you should be a part of a reservation where y'all don't pay taxes and you're in tune with the chief that runs that reservation. But a lot of them is paying taxes because y'all not in tune with no fucking Indian chiefs on these reservations, because y'all really don't have Indian in y'all. And I'm not going to say African Americans didn't link up with Indians. I ain't going to say African Americans didn't have kids by Indians during slavery, or the Indians didn't help us or team up with us to fight against the colonizers. All of that did go down. But I'm tired of 1 billion people running with, oh, I'm half Indian, I'm half this. They everything but black. They always want to say they something else because it makes them look more exotic, sound more exotic, or feel more exotic. Nah, my nigga, you black. You an ex-slave. You a descendant of slaves or whatever, and you don't know your history. There's nothing wrong with that. But find your way, though. Research, dig in the crates, do due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Do research. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, the age I'm at now, you know, the 5 women I got kids by now, you know, that was past situation. You know, I evolve. Every 2 years, I evolve mentally. I excel. I go through levels from reading, studying, searching, seeking, you know, trying to strengthen my spiritual